So hello there, my name's Daniel Metra and welcome to the ERTL collection update. So as you can see here, I've got 4 more characters in the Thomas Tank Engine ERTL range, which unfortunately has now been discontinued. I've got Diesel, BoCo, Mavis and George, Steamroller. And I've got a few others as well, which I will show you another time. I've got and kept in the boxes. And again, these characters I do have already, but they are in different styles of packaging to this. And also some of them look slightly different, like Diesel for example. I bought him in the bundle recently, and he comes in a different style of packaging and he looks slightly different, mainly because he's got one of the new coupling systems on the back. But anyway, so first off, here is Diesel, and I like Diesel's face. Looks like his face in the television series when the show was made using models. And as you probably remember me saying before, the last sort of few models that ERTL produced I thought were definitely the most detailed. However, this is a bit more of an earlier one, before the range is discontinued, and I think the detail on that is absolutely superb. I mean, Diesel's only painted black with red buffer beam, so he's not the most colourful of engines, but obviously you can see all the grills and that on the side of him. And he looks like a diesel shunter in real life, which I've seen. And also, when I went last year, I went to the Conductor Railway in Wales, and I saw one of Diesel's. So I saw Diesel's basis, the same colour as well, black, in the yards when I was on the train, and I saw Duck's basis there as well. And I've seen that tank engine quite a few times. Also, when I was in Wales, I went to Harlech Castle, and when I was there, I went to a shop nearby, and I got a book of Thomas and the Evil Diesel. Written in Welsh, but I've also got the English version as well. And I also got this jigsaw from there as well, but I've not actually completed it yet. I've been quite busy recently, because unlike some people who've been furloughed, I've not been furloughed. I've been at work the whole time. I had a bit of holiday here and there from work, but I ended up doing other things. But I will do the jigsaw another time, definitely. But yeah, no, Diesel's always been one of my favourite characters. And as you can see here, he's got grey side rods. When he was first introduced in the TV series, he had grey side rods. From Series 6 onwards, though, his side rods painted black. And this was also carried on to the CGI animated series of the show. And again, Diesel was first introduced in the Railway series, Duck and the Diesel engine, and he was sent away after all the trouble that he caused when he told lies about Duck. But he's been back on several occasions since then. And there's been some occasions where, you actually feel sorry for him, and he's actually been quite helpful. And again, in the book Thomas and the Evil Diesel, although he was trouble at first when he come back, he proved himself to be a really useful engine when he helped Thomas. So he has got both a good and a bad side, I think it's fair to say. But yeah, no, I like Diesel. And on the back, they've got a nice description card about him. And not only that, you've also got tells you all the other characters that you can buy in the range. Obviously, the range has been discontinued now. Something else I noticed as well is just there. I like this animation, by the way. And on most of the ones that I've got in this packaging, they're all done by an artist called Owen Bell, who's done a lot of merchandise and annuals and things like that as well. I do like his illustrations of the characters, and I think it does more or less capture what they look like during the TV series of the show. That's Diesel. And also, unfortunately, in the news, I heard about Conductor Railway being in trouble. And in 2019, when I went to Wales, I went to quite a few railways, and I'm sort of glad that I did, because obviously last year, with lockdown, wasn't really able to go to many of them. But I did go to the Ean Valley Railway recently, and as you probably saw as well, I've been out train spotting in various places as well. So I still can't manage to keep myself occupied, but I do like the steam engines most of all, so I look forward to seeing them out again, and hopefully the Conductor Railway can be saved. So next off, we've got BoCo, and BoCo is based upon a Metropolitan Vickers. And actually holding it, I didn't quite realise how heavy his model. He actually feels quite heavy. I do think this is a really nice model of BoCo, and the face looks quite nice. It sort of reminds me of his face in the television series of the show. But I think the only downside of this model is that he's got a black buffer beam when it should actually be painted red like it is there. And again, you can just about see BoCo's driver waving. Unfortunately, it's got some stickers on it from Beatties. I don't want to peel them off because I'm worried that if I peel them off I'll end up damaging the box. Sometimes if you leave stickers on after time, sometimes they do peel off by themselves. but they look quite firmly glued on. He's also got the British Railways logo at the back just there, and that's a little bit wonky. But apart from that, I do think it's a nice model of BoCo, and I think the ERTL range was definitely the best when you compare to obviously what the range is now. So I do really like this model of BoCo. And when I was younger, obviously I knew it was a model of BoCo. Little details like the sticker being wonky and the colours being slightly wrong as buffers didn't really bother me that much, really. BoCo first appeared in the Railway series, and he looks a lot different in that. He had a yellow face, and he was also a very friendly diesel. Got on well with most of the engines. Even Gordon had respect for him. And that story, Wrong Road, was one of my favourite stories that he appeared in. He had a run-in with Bill and Ben when he first arrived, playing tricks on him because he didn't know they were twins. And unfortunately, BoCo doesn't appear in the show anymore. However, I've got this book here from the CGI animated series era of the show, the Ultimate Diesels Guide, and BoCo and a lot of other diesels appear in that. So even though it's a model series, the show, there's photos in there from both the Railway series and the model series as well. So it's great that BoCo is included. And again, I like engines like BoCo because he's got a long, big engine. Whereas most of the time now in the show, it just consists of diesel shunters. So I like engines like BoCo, and I would actually like to see an engine like BoCo in real life. And to my knowledge, there's actually one preserved Metropolitan Vickers diesel electric Type 2 engine like BoCo at the East Lancashire Railway, from what I've seen. But obviously, I was going to go in October last year, but because of the national lockdown, because of the virus and the pandemic and all that, I didn't actually get a chance to go. Booked tickets and then ended up getting money back a few days later. But I'm determined to go there again. But yeah, that's BoCo. And I would like BoCo to have come back in the show, but unfortunately, I don't think he is going to come back again, really. The reason, obviously, being is the show's become 2D animated. And again, Diesel, who I showed you a few minutes ago, he does actually appear to be in that. So I guess it's glad that he's not been forgotten, because Diesel was the first diesel engine to come to the island. But BoCo's always been one of my favourites. And as well in the TV series, obviously the engines had face masks, and BoCo shared his with Daisy, the diesel rail car, because Daisy's was basically BoCo's, but with makeup added on during the model era of the show. And I think it would have always been great if they could have actually appeared in the story together. BoCo's appeared in the magazine stories, and when he appeared in the magazine stories, he was alongside characters that he never got the chance to appear alongside when he was in the TV series between series 2 and 5. Like I said, series 5 was the last time we saw BoCo, unfortunately. And on the back, again, his collector's card tells about his run-in with Bill and Ben and that, and what he's based on. And I do like the card on the back because they give a lot of information out. So next off, I got Mavis, again, in a different style of packaging to what I got her in previously. And I like the face on Mavis. It reminds me of her face, again, the TV series. And Mavis, the last character to appear in the Railway series, created by the Reverend W. Audrey. She was the last character that he thought of. In the TV series, she first appeared in the episode called Mavis. And again, one of my favourite stories that Mavis appeared in was Toby's Tightrope. That was one of my favourite stories. And I think the detail on Mavis is absolutely superb. Fantastic looking model. Again, unfortunately, there is a price tag sticker there. Don't know if that shop's still around. I haven't really looked, to be honest with you. There's not many model shops around now, unfortunately. But then there is some that are doing quite well. That's Mavis. And again, nice description card on the back. It tells you all the other characters there next to my fingers. Say bye. It's Mavis. And last off, I've got George the Steamroller. Something interesting here is as well, George has got one of the collector's cards behind him. And a lot of the characters that were in this style of packaging, well, say the ones that come in this style of packaging, they all pretty much came with these collector's cards. So little pamphlets telling you obviously all the other characters you can buy in the range. And again, although I do like the other style of packaging, the ones obviously all the other ones here, so Diesel, BoCo, Mavis, they're all the same. But I do also like this style of packaging as well that George come in. And again, there were some characters that only came in this style of packaging. Though George has pretty much been in, different type, a few different types of packaging. I've got him in 2 other types of packaging, and one, as you can see in this photo here, shows him what he looked like in the Railway series. And then the other one shows him more or less what he looked like in the TV series. It's interesting because this model of George has got a green roof, and George's roof is actually painted black. But in one of the magazine stories, it was actually painted green. But most of the time, it's been shown with a black roof. I've also got George in the wooden range. Again, he comes with a white roof in that. And again, in the Railway series, he looked different as well. And he was in 2 different books in the Railway series, so it didn't appear very much. And like I said, his face looks a lot different in that as well. And then the face on this one, I do like. It looks like George's face again in the television series, his grumpy face that he used to have. So I do think this is a really nice model of George. You've got a description card on the back as well, which is quite nice. Not as detailed as the other ones, but still nice enough. Nice, shows you the animation nice and clearly. And George was in the range pretty much from when he first appeared in the range to when it was discontinued. And in that whole time, I don't think I ever remember seeing him in this style of packaging in any of the shops, because I remember you went to certain shops and things like that. And it's interesting as well because I found this booklet from Toys R Us. I think it's from 2010. Obviously, Toys R Us is closed down now, unfortunately. But I remember going to places like Toys R Us and that and seeing all the different characters and different styles of packaging. For me, that was quite a memorable moment, really. Part of my childhood. But it's nice to have George in another different style of packaging as well. And he's appeared in the magazine stories a number of times as well. I wouldn't say he was the most popular character in the show. I mean, in the episode, most of the time, he had a few sort of speaking roles. In Calling It All Engines, he played a major part, helping to fix the runway. But apart from that, he mainly just appeared in the background of episodes, as you can see here. I suppose when I was watching episodes like that, it was always nice to sort of watch the background and see who was going to appear, sort of thing. It was a bit of a game, I guess, really, who was going to appear in the background. But no, I do really like George. And I think this is a great model. So that's all my characters at the time being. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.